Ready to leave the old rules behind? April 2026 marks a massive structural shift for Aquarius. From a rare 7-year creative awakening to a powerful career turning point, the stars are finally aligning for your most atmospheric and high-end projects yet. Here is how to navigate this month's electric energy. Chapter 1: The Creative Breakthrough. Have you felt like you've been running with your shoes tied together for the last few years? Like every time you try to launch a new creative project or express your true self, you hit a wall of duty, tradition, or just plain old-fashioned resistance. If you are an Aquarius, you've likely been feeling a heavy, grounding weight since 2018. It's been a time of building foundations, yes, but for a sign that breathes the air of the future, it has often felt stifling. Everything changes on April 25th. This is the moment the great disruptor, the planet Uranus, which happens to be your celestial ruler, finally packs its bags and moves into the sign of Gemini. In the world of astrology, we call this an ingress, but you can think of it as a massive atmospheric shift. Imagine living in a room with the windows painted shut for 7 years, and suddenly, someone smashes them open to let in a cool electric breeze. That is exactly what this transit feels like. Because Uranus is moving into your 5th house, the sector of your life that governs creativity, romance, and how you play, the internal static you've been feeling is about to turn into a clear signal. You aren't just getting a good idea this month. You are undergoing a radical identity shift in how you present yourself to the world. You'll find yourself drawn to aesthetics you once thought were too much or too weird. You might suddenly decide to scrap a project you've worked on for months in favor of something that feels raw, cinematic, and deeply personal. This isn't a subtle change, it's a lightning strike. You might find yourself awake at 3 a.m., finally seeing the vision for your brand or your art with crystalline clarity. The friction is gone, replaced by a high-velocity flow that demands you move fast. Before we dive into how this electric energy is going to impact your bank account and your career, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. We are tracking these major 2026 shifts all year long, and I don't want you to miss the roadmap for your specific sign. With Uranus in Gemini, your mind becomes a playground. Gemini is the sign of communication, and for an Aquarius, this means your ability to bridge the gap between abstract concepts and visual storytelling is at an all-time high. If you've been waiting for a sign to start that faceless channel, to experiment with archive footage, or to dive into a new digital medium, this is it. The stars aren't just suggesting a change, they are providing the electricity to power it. But be warned, this energy is fast. It doesn't like to wait. As we move into the rest of April, you'll need to know how to capture this lightning in a bottle without burning out. Up next, we're looking at the action pileup in mid-April that will force you to put these new ideas into motion. Chapter 2: Your Big Idea Launchpad. If the beginning of April was about catching a vision, the middle of the month is where that vision gets its wings, and a healthy dose of jet fuel. Between April 14th and April 20th, the sky becomes incredibly busy in the sign of Aries. In astrology, we call this a stellium, which is really just a fancy way of saying there is a massive traffic jam of planetary energy all pushing in the same direction. For you Aquarius, this is happening in your 3rd house. This is the part of your life that handles how you speak, how you think, and, most importantly for the creators among us, how you broadcast your message to the world. If you've been sitting on a secret project, a half-finished script, or a digital service you've been too nervous to launch, the universe is about to stop asking and start pushing. On April 17th, we have a new moon in Aries. New moons are always about fresh starts, but because this one is fueled by the fire of Aries, it's not a sit and meditate kind of start. It is a hit the record button kind of start. This is your personal launchpad. You might find that the words come easier, the editing flow feels more intuitive, and that nagging voice of self-doubt is suddenly drowned out by a sheer need to do. This is the best time of the entire year to debut a new look for your channel or to send that pitch email to a client in an international market. However, every launchpad has a bit of friction. Around April 19th, Mars meets Saturn. Think of this as trying to drive a high-performance sports car with the parking brake partially engaged. You have all this Aries fire telling you to go, 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 but Saturn is there to ask, is the foundation solid? Is the legal paperwork done? Is the export quality actually up to your high standards? Don't let this stop-and-go energy frustrate you. It's actually a gift for the perfectionist in you. Saturn is ensuring that your big idea isn't just a flash in the pan, but something built to last. It's the cosmic equivalent of a final quality control check before you go live. Use this mid-month tension to refine your mood architecture. If a technical glitch happens, and with this much electric energy they might, take it as a sign to slow down and perfect the details. The beauty of this action pileup is that it forces you out of your head and into the physical world. As an Aquarius, it's very easy to live in the future, dreaming of what could be. But this fire in your third house demands that you communicate in the now. You'll find that your ability to analyze personality traits or explain complex psychological archetypes is sharper than ever. People aren't just going to listen to you this month. They are going to hear you. This mid-month surge is the essential bridge to the financial and career breakthroughs we'll be discussing in the next chapters. You have to build the machine before it can generate the rewards. So take that Aries courage, embrace the Saturn discipline, and get your message out there. Stay tuned, because as we move past this launch phase, we're heading straight into an unpredictable financial plot twist that could change the way you value your work entirely. You won't want to miss how the Venus-Uranus alignment is about to shake up your wallet. Chapter 3: The Financial Plot Twist. If the middle of the month was about the hard work of launching your ideas, April 23rd is when the universe decides to throw a celebratory, if slightly chaotic, party for your bank account. We are entering the realm of the Venus-Uranus conjunction, and in the world of astrology, this is the equivalent of a cosmic lightning strike hitting a gold mine. Venus is the planet of beauty, pleasure, and, most importantly for our purposes, value. It represents what we love and how we get paid for it. Uranus, your ruling planet, is the planet of the shock. When these two dance together in a conjunction, the traditional rules of finance and self-worth go straight out the window. For you, Aquarius, this is a financial plot twist that you won't see coming, but you'll certainly feel it. Think about how you've traditionally valued your work. Perhaps you've been looking at local markets or sticking to standard rates for your digital services. On April 23rd, that perspective is going to feel incredibly small. Because Uranus is involved, this isn't about a steady 5% raise. It's about an unconventional breakthrough. You might receive a sudden, out-of-the-blue inquiry from an international client who stumbles upon your atmospheric content and sees the value in your unique mood architecture. Or perhaps a digital product you launched during the Aries new moon suddenly finds its tribe in a market you hadn't even considered, like a high-end European design firm or a boutique American agency. This is the electric spark that validates your decision to step away from the beige aesthetic and lean into your own cinematic, archive-heavy style. But this transit isn't just about the money in your wallet. It's about a radical shift in your attraction factor. Venus and Uranus together create a magnetic energy that is impossible to ignore. You might find that your social media engagement spikes in ways that defy the usual algorithm rules. People are drawn to your faceless mystery and your ability to curate a specific vibe. This is the perfect time to update your public offer or your professional portfolio. If there was ever a day to take a risk on a weird creative choice that feels true to you, it's this one. The more you it is, the more magnetic it becomes. However, a word of caution: Uranus energy is as fast as it is bright. These opportunities can vanish just as quickly as they appear if you don't grab them. This isn't a day for sleeping on it. It's a day for saying yes to the unexpected. This financial shift is the vital fuel you need for the final 2 stages of the month. We've had the creative breakthrough, we've built the Launchpad, and now we have the resources. But how do you keep from burning out under all this high voltage energy? And more importantly, how does this all culminate in a massive career peak as the month closes? Stay with me for the next chapter, where we'll discuss the reality check you need to stay grounded while your career starts to go vertical. You'll want to know how to protect your peace while your brand is catching fire. Chapter 4: The Burnout Reality Check. After the high-voltage excitement of new ideas and that sudden financial spark, the universe brings us to a crucial crossroads. On April 5th, and echoing throughout the month, we encounter a planetary reality check, known as the Jupiter-Sun square. Think of this as the cosmic version of a high-performance engine getting a warning light on the dashboard. It's not a sign to stop, but it is a very loud request to check your oil. For an Aquarius, this transit is happening between your 3rd house of communication and your 6th house of daily habits and physical health. It's a classic tug-of-war between your ambition and your adrenaline. You've spent the first half of the month building a Launchpad, and riding the wave of an electric spark. You are likely feeling more visible and more productive than you have in years. But here's the catch. The sixth house is where we deal with the unglamorous side of being a creator. The spreadsheets, the file backups, the neck pain from sitting at a desk too long, and the mental fatigue of constant digital engagement. Jupiter in Cancer wants to expand your comfort, your sanctuary, and your physical well-being. Meanwhile, the Sun in Aries is screaming for you to go faster, do more, and stay on 24/7. If you ignore the Jupiter-Sun square, you risk hitting a wall just as your career is about to peak. This is the moment to audit your mood architecture. It's easy to focus on the aesthetics of your videos, but what about the aesthetics of your life? This month, the most Aquarian thing you can do is to treat your self-care like a high-end ritual. Think of your skincare routine not just as a way to maintain your appearance, but as a grounded, tactile meditation. When you're analyzing the niacinamide or the zinc in your products, you're practicing a form of earth magic that keeps your air energy from drifting too far away. The reality check is asking you, is the life you are building actually sustainable? If you are selling digital services to international markets, have you set boundaries so you aren't working through the night? If your channel is finally gaining traction, are you still making time for the solitude that fuels your best ideas? This chapter is your secret weapon. Most people skip the wellness part of an astrology forecast because they want to hear about the money and the fame. But as an Aquarius, your genius comes from your clarity, and you can't have clarity if your nervous system is fried. By taking this reality check seriously, you aren't slowing down your progress. You are sharpening your tools. You are ensuring that when that massive full moon career peak arrives at the end of the month, you are actually healthy and present enough to enjoy it. Don't check out now. We are about to hit the career recognition moment of the year. This final peak is the culmination of everything we've talked about: the creative shift, the launch, and the financial spark. But it only works if you arrive at the finish line in one piece. In the final chapter, we're going to look at the full moon in Scorpio. This is the big one. This is where your faceless brand finally steps into the light, and your professional reputation goes through a total transformation. Let's see what the stars have waiting for you at the top of the mountain. Chapter 5. The Career Recognition Moment. We have reached the summit. After a month of electric shifts, bold launches, and a much-needed reality check, the stars are closing April with a grand finale: the full moon in Scorpio. In your chart, Aquarius, this lumination is hitting the very top of your sky, the 10th house of career, public reputation, and your legacy. If you've been working behind the scenes, building your faceless brand, or meticulously curating an atmospheric digital world, this is the moment the curtain finally rises. In astrology, a full moon is a time of harvest. It's when the seeds you planted, perhaps even months or years ago, finally break through the soil and demand to be seen. Because this moon falls in the deep, transformative sign of Scorpio, this isn't just a good job at the office. This is a total rebranding of your soul's work. Scorpio energy is about power, mystery, and the unseen influence. For an Aquarius creator, this is the ultimate validation of your mood architect style. You don't need to show your face to be a powerhouse. In fact, the mystery you've cultivated is exactly what makes your professional reputation so magnetic right now. Expect a significant peak moment between April 28th and May 1st. This could look like a project going viral in a way that feels deeply meaningful, or receiving a high-end offer that acknowledges your specific expertise in personality psychology or visual storytelling. Because Jupiter is supporting this moon from your house of daily work, this isn't a fleeting moment of fame. It's a permanent upgrade to your professional status. You are moving from someone who creates to someone who defines a vibe. But Scorpio energy also asks for a shedding of skin. To step into this new level of recognition, you might have to officially let go of an old professional identity that no longer fits. Maybe it's a service you no longer want to offer, or a safe aesthetic that you've outgrown. The full moon is giving you the courage to say, "This is who I am now," and the world is ready to applaud. As the month closes, take a moment to look back at where you were on April 1st. You've moved through the fire of Aries and the lightning of Uranus to stand here, at the peak of your career house, under the transformative light of Scorpio. You aren't just an observer anymore. You are a professional force to be reckoned with. April 2026 is your invitation to step into a more electric, authentic version of yourself. As the mood architect of your own life, how will you use this Uranian energy to reshape your world? If this roadmap resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment below sharing your biggest creative goal for this month. Let's build this future together. See you soon.